He's got his first midfield on. Here is Cam Rubin, who's played attack and midfield at Penn. And he sends that one to the shadow realm. Shooting has been an issue for Penn all season. They come into the game shooting 25%. That is 61st out of 74 nationally. And they've struggled to find an initiator, but here they get the early goal.
Penn's a program that's known for their toughness. That starts on defense. They'll play a physical brand of man-to-man defense. They swarm ground balls in this instance. That has not been an area of strength. Carroll comes up with the ball, but you better get out of my way. Tony McMullen puts his shoulder down. They effectively clear, and they generate a high percentage shot. It's a wing dodge and a little curl underneath. You see the Notre Dame contact pushes McLean into the crease.
So, a man up for Notre Dame. Last year, they were historically good. This year, they've been okay. 32%.
45th in the country.
Kavanaugh from long range, saved by Carroll. Rebound deflected into the stick of McLean. McLean, a former Ivy League guy, started his career at Brown. Second year with the Irish. Kavanaugh with a rifle.
Confidence by Kavanaugh. The first was a kick save and a beaut from Emmett Carroll. Two guys will be drafted in 2 weeks to the PLL. A pair of seniors dueling it out on that power play. Kavanaugh says, you're going to give me the second look. I'm not going to shoot it low this time. I'm going to put this off your offside shoulder. Too much velocity and placement. Kavanaugh from mid-range. As a part of that short stick defensive midfield.
It's a deep unit of guys like Ramsey, Reinhardt, Alakwa, Buckner.
Rubin's a sniper, 12 in blue, top of the formation to the left.
He's been in a shooting slump, however. One for his last 16. Provost up top, Rubin. One more, turned away on the rebound, score. That's Griffin Skane, his team leading 23rd of the season.
That's his spot. Griffin Skane loves that right-handed wing. This is a player, they experimented early in the year with playing Skane in a two-way role. Big rebound comes right back to him. He's able to plant his feet, and without defensive interference, he snipes one up and pegs a corner. Griffin Skane, only a junior from Michigan. You mentioned his sister, Izzy. Kid's legit.
Well, we get to see Izzy, hopefully this summer, for the New York Charging in the WLL. And Griffin's had some big games for Penn this year. 5 goals against Yale, had 5 against Villanova. Davis wins the faceoff, and Penn with a 2-1 lead late in the first quarter. Notre Dame, Quint, if there's a concern right now against UNC, 29+ minutes to begin the game without a goal. Against Virginia, they went 32 minutes with only 1 goal, and in the loss to Syracuse, 40+ minutes without a goal. Skane down the alley, his second. 3-1 Penn.
Quakers are spoiling senior day in South Bend. Somebody tell them they're 4-9. You talk about toughness, you talk about a willingness to compete, and you see the smile. The long dodge by Skane. No help, right 90s in the middle of the formation. He doesn't feel comfortable that he can go. He probably could have, because his man vacated that area.
Lucchese against Faison. Now Beecham against Jeffrey, who played D-mid at the beginning of the season. Turnovers continue to plague the Irish, 7 in what has been a low possession first half. Three failed clears for Notre Dame. Getting topside and getting the goal. It's Penn making it 4-1. Casey Mulligan, just his third of the season, the second midfield with an appearance for the Quakers.
Turnovers are going to cost you. Multiple possessions, time of possession being dominated by the Quakers. Richard Deli just threw it in the dirt. It's a bounce pass. You can't have that. Suddenly, Notre Dame's defense has been on the field for a long time. They're a little gassed. Mulligan, the senior from New Jersey, third goal of the season.
Notre Dame probing the perimeter. Not much inside right now. McLean looking for Richard Deli. He lost it. That's a big hold by Penn. We're going to get a flag. Pacheco, 51 in blue, took a shot to the face. Let's see if Penn tries to run. This is a free possession. Skane fires and scores. First half hat trick for Griffin Skane. 4 points for the junior here in South Bend already.
What a disaster this has been for Kevin Corrigan. Penalty drawn by Pacheco off the loose ball. Right there, Carroll wants the call. He gets the call. At the other end, Notre Dame just does a poor job of checking up. Somehow Skane comes in from the substitution box, continues to cut right down the seam and gets to pay dirt. The middies have not gotten good looks off the dodge. Taylor's been very quiet inside.
Irish able to get it back. Jeffrey, oh! Everything but the goal. Helmet came off. And he's down. He had an incredible move last week. And
Incredible.
That was another tremendous move, but his helmet came off and he is down. Saw Jake Taylor briefly go into the locker room earlier in the game. Kevin Corrigan coming out to check on the #1 player coming out of high school, Matt Jeffrey.
I mean, when you look at Faison and Matt Jeffrey, they are freak athletes. That's a clean hit. I got to tell you, that is a clean hit. You got to button your chin strap, young man, because Penn is bringing the heat today. There's nothing illegal about that. It does the elbow come up? Yeah, but it hits him in the shoulder. There's no contact to the head or neck area. That's a young man who plays college football for Notre Dame. He played for the national championship game on special teams. Welcome to Division I lacrosse.
Yeah, and Quinn, one of the things Kevin Corrigan told us this week was with spring practice coming to an That's a good sign. He is walking and moving. Does have the neck brace on. We'll step aside. Break today in this opening half.
Jake Taylor from 40 yards.
Clearing against Notre Dame. When you get close to midfield, that's when it's dangerous. Joe Bresci was talking to us about that last week. Here's a chance for Penn. It is 6-1, and that is a pole goal. Ryan McLaughlin, the junior from Mountain Lakes, the first goal of his career.
This is textbook. Coach Corrigan can't believe it. They go to a bit of a 10-man ride, a little bit of press. They turn up the heat, and Penn's got answers. Everything that can go wrong right now for Coach Corrigan as he eyes it up on the iPad is going wrong. Penn handles the pressure, tic-tac-toe. They matriculate that ball down the middle of the field right here. One more, eyes are up, fill the space, bury it high to low. That is gorgeous, gorgeous team lacrosse. Unlikely goal scorer, Ryan McLaughlin, the junior.
In Notre Dame's last 2 first halves, only 2 goals. And they didn't do a whole lot against Virginia. Only had 3 in the first half against Syracuse. Kavanaugh has the lone Irish goal. Gets free.
Stick broken. Penn has to sub through the box.
Shot from the wing, and McLean gets a big one for the Irish with 13 seconds to go in the quarter, and that is Notre Dame's first goal of the second quarter.
This is not uncommon. And defensive midfielders who don't use the maximum strength titanium pole are costing their team's goals. And it's so, look at the player's got to run off the field. He should drop that broken stick, but now you're playing defense with 5 guys, and guess what? Nothing happens really good defensively when you only got 5 guys on the field. And the Irish catch just a huge break. You got to
shrink the game, but is there a balance? Because, as you said, Notre Dame can speed you up. They can speed you up with the ride. They can also speed you up by winning faceoffs, and there you go.
6 goals will not win this game for Penn. You got to get to 9 or 10. Probably 10 to win the game.
That's been a challenge for them. They average less than 9 a game. And that's goal number 3 for Notre Dame.
Fans looking for a spark. Guess who? Number 50. Penn gets sloppy in the clearing game. And the band will play when you're not crisp and getting out of your own zone. The turnover up by the midfield line. Good ground ball play. Tell you, that's a sensational play by Will Donovan, who beats his man to the ball. Kavanaugh's put in an ideal situation against a short stick with no double team. Little shake and bake. Left hand, he plants down the alley. He's able to set his feet and rip. Did he look? He tried to fight out the shot clock for the last 20 seconds.
There's the matchup. Lavelle against Kavanaugh now on the switch. Hugh Mullane is going to get flagged. Kavanaugh gets it back. 2-1. Does it count? It does. Devin McLean beats the shot clock. It's 6-4. Game on.
This is an amazing catch. Unbelievable dexterity by McLean. They can feel it now. Double-decker. Watch this catch. Not much in the shot clock, so Kavanaugh says, I'm going to take a chance. I'm just going to jam this ball inside. He puts it to space. He puts it to where McLean's going to be. Not only does he make the catch, but it's a flying twister from the second floor. Watch McLean. Catching, balancing, falling. Carroll doesn't even know what's going on. He can't even find the ball. Watch this. Whoop.
And cue the awareness. Feel safe going into Selection Sunday.
This crowd has come to life, though. Energetic now. You can kind of feel that we're at Arlotta.
It's become the scene and the place to be in lacrosse. There's Angrick. Irish trying to get to within 1. And they do. McLean, a hat trick.
Four straight. And they love it. The Golden Domers are feeling it suddenly. Offense that was dormant in the first half. That ball's popping right now, and McLean has been the beneficiary. It's been the Chris Kavanaugh and Devin McLean show. Comeback underway. Down 6-1. Pop, pop, pop. Turn and rake. Irish back in business. Impressed.
Notre Dame looking to play make it, take it. Lynch maneuvers through 3 Quakers. Irish can tie here.
It's just like last week or what, Anish? It's like the same game.
Rinse and repeat. And Penn feels the same way. They had Princeton on the ropes after one half, and that game went sideways in the second half. Here comes Angrick. Career high in goals as a senior. For the tie! McLean with his fourth. He scored 3 in a row.
If you were with us earlier, I compared this Penn defense to Notre Dame back in the day when Jerry Byrne was a defensive coordinator out in South Bend. And the way he always gave Coach Byrne fits was you attack from behind the goal. Angrick wing dodge, they kick it through X. The defense collapses, and then the weakness is on the weak side. So ball reversal through phase onto the far wing is the way. I think they're still looking for their first shot of this third quarter.
Davis Provost. 2 goals last time out. Lefty shot on a run, and that finds the back of the net. Beat Richard Delly. How about the sophomore out of Denver?
Had 2 goals last week against Princeton, similar fashion. Loves that lefty sweep and the overhand shot on the run. Against the pole. Pick gives him the switch and the separation, and he puts us in a great spot against a right-handed goalie. This goes to Richard Delly's offside hip. I mean, that is a thing of beauty. To the field, his dream to score a goal, and takes that shot and falls down. Things will slow down for him. He's immensely talented. He's got a great opportunity.
Booze and Kill recovers. Now Seymour. Booze and Kill, Seymour, Jeffrey, or rather Finley, the second midfield. Finley all the way, and we're tied at 7. 5th goal of the season for the senior from Alpharetta, Georgia.
Good for Fisher Finley. This is a guy, early in the year, was in the rotation because of performance, takes the demotion. Today he gets a second chance at it with Jeffrey being out with an injury, and he delivers. You gotta respect that. He's a big man, the senior, 6'6" from Georgia, played for Thunderlacks in the ATL. And this is what you gotta love if you're the coaching staff, Chris Wojcik, Kevin Corrigan. Don't want to make a mistake. Love the way he was aggressive. Be aggressive.
Midfield depth was an area where Notre Dame flexed at the end of the year last season.
Unlike any we've ever seen. They played 9 guys in the semis and the championship game. 3 lines of middies.
And that third midfield was productive. Maharis gives the Irish their first lead of the game. And the midfield with the last 2 goals. Maharis, and before him, Finley.
It is uncanny. It is uncanny how similar this game is to the game that Notre Dame played last week in Chapel Hill. Kevin Corrigan's got the same hat. It's been the same hat he's worn forever. He says he's not superstitious, he's just stitious. Well, whatever he's doing at halftime is working, because his midfielders suddenly in the second half can't be stopped. Split dodge right to left down the alley. Maharis has got good wheels. I like his vision. He's kind of a late bloomer. He's a junior from Chicago, and suddenly, Anish, the last couple of weeks, he's flashing.
Yeah, he's had some nice games this year. 2 goals against Michigan, 2 against Marquette, and again, the Jeffrey injury, Maharis gets the bump from second midfield to first.
Scored the empty netter at the end of the game last week, and that tells me that they value his speed and his decision-making.
Here come the Irish. Lynch, crease feed, Taylor, career goal number 125. 5. Earnest Money down on the crease.
Eight-two run. If the Bagpipe Club was here, they'd be playing.
How about that, huh? Ben Ramsey, the bagpiper, took bagpiping classes in the fall.
Lynch, good handle, reads it well. Well, you see how Lynch, watch him decelerate here. He's not in a rush. He puts his stick up in the passing area, so he's got options. He's got a kickoff to the right. Last week, you see it today. 15 minutes, man, they're hoisting a third straight championship trophy. But if you play like you did in the first 30, you're not getting to Boston.
And that's been the issue over these last 4 or 5 games for Notre Dame. They've not put together a full 60 minutes.
Inconsistencies, and that's not isolated to Notre Dame this season.
Oh, how about that feed? And Ben Smith, the slam dunk. Penn's not going away. So Davis won the faceoff, and Penn back to within 1.
Lynch had been owning the draws. Davis wins this, carries in. This got to be just a simple communication error by Notre Dame. It is. Switzenberg, 27, is high slot. Gallagher is
Racer. We come up on 3 minutes to play. Penn has given the Irish all it could handle. Senior day in South Bend. A loss would knock Notre Dame to the bubble. They still have the ACC tournament. Here's Kavanaugh. Fires and scores. His third, a 6-point game for the last of the Kavanaugh brothers.
Senior day, last game in Arlotta. Sean Light, 90 and white, causes the turnover. Roaming the field, being a dominant force. Kavanaugh gives Lavelle a little left-handed down the alley move. He hasn't showcased that today. He's got so many different ways to score. We're going to end up with a home win in their last appearance at Arlotta.
We've seen a lot of teams still be a work in progress. UNC injuries to deal with Duffy and Petramala. Syracuse, a little bit of a shocking loss to Duke last week. Is Duke finding itself? Multiple flags. Time expires. Now getting testy.
Similar to what happened last week, Syracuse at Duke. Faison's running for his life. He's double teamed. He gets held. He gets fouled. Kavanaugh comes to his defense.
On senior day, they play the fight song. The Irish flood the field after a 10-8 win against Penn. The season is over for the Quakers. Next up for Notre Dame, Charlotte, North Carolina, and the ACC tournament. They'll take on, well, that determines to be seen, but we'll find out soon enough. Softball's next.